Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the money makers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Laurel Langmeyer.
Hey, this is Laurel. Welcome back to another episode of Laurel's Real Money Talks, the podcast that talks about how to make millionaires, from making money, keeping money, investing money, and how to use that wealth building team that you all need. So every week I bring an interview or some topic that is relevant to one of those conversations. And today we're really going to talk about, I'm going to say making money, but also the investing money side. And I have with me Scott Donnell, who's a partner. I'm actually going to call you a partner now, a serial entrepreneur. And through another client of mine, Lee Richter, I met Scott and joined the GravyStack team. So we're going to talk about GravyStack, and all of you families will be getting it, just like you're going to be getting my Make Your Kids Millionaires book. So Scott, welcome.
Good to be here. Thanks, Laurel.
Thank you. So talk a little bit about your journey. You've worked with kids for a long time. You had an Apex fund run. 7 million kids were involved in this. Talk about your journey, that would bring you to GravyStack, which is really financial literacy for families.
Yeah. So, just a serial entrepreneur. It's a lifelong sentence. I can't sleep until I create these companies, but I only want to do things I'm super passionate about because it's the only thing that carries me through. Money doesn't. Money's crucial to give you cash confidence and the ability to try new things and build value for other people. But at the end of the day, money's not enough for me as an entrepreneur. I have to make sure that the passion and the value created, the service to others, the impact, that's really what drives me. So my first company was actually when I was 8 years old, believe it or not. I made little bead geckos. I actually carry one on my desk, little keychains. Awesome. And I would make them for a quarter and sell them for a couple bucks door to door. I actually ended up getting suspended like 3 months into business because all of my classmates were working for me and not going to lunch or recess. They were making all my keychains. So my supply line got cut, I got suspended, but luckily I come from a long line of entrepreneurs, and my dad took me out to pizza and he was like, that's the best way to get suspended I've ever seen. So I love business. I love teaching kids these skills. My first business was Apex Fun Run. We taught leadership and fitness to schools all over America. So there's about 7 million kids we've served. We got 120 franchises. We just exited that business a few months ago. It was incredible impact. We've raised hundreds of millions of dollars for kids. But again, it's all about childhood development.
Yeah.
So went off. I built a biotech company that we just went public in Toronto called Hapbee Technologies. We've got HeroMaker Studios. We're making basically the next generation of Disney for Web3 and NFT comic books with the world's most famous people. I really love these businesses because it's mental health, it's storytelling, it really shapes culture. And then back to my roots with GravyStack. So GravyStack is a financial literacy bank account and game for kids and teenagers to be able to gamify financial independence. So instead of books and fill in the blanks and blogs and mom and dad trying to push the kids, this is kid led. So these kids fall in love with our game. They earn levels and missions and accomplishments. They actually earn a resume, a digital resume for college or a job just by playing this game and completing the levels, all about money and life skills. The things that you and I are aligned perfectly here. It's all about making and managing money well, investing well, earning, spending, sharing, borrowing, protecting money, all the things that schools don't teach. That's kind of our core mission, is what are the holes in education and how do we fill them in a fun way?
Absolutely. So I want to back up now that I've, seen your trajectory. What did you go to school? Did you end up going to college, getting a degree? Did you do any of that? Or did you just, what's your background?
Well, the only reason I got good grades, I was so dumb as a kid. Everyone thought I had a lot of learning issues. I only passed kindergarten, first and second grade because my twin sister was in the same grade. And they didn't want me to be left behind socially. So they just moved me through. And then third grade came around and I beat my teacher in chess the first time I ever played. And he was the chess coach.
I love that.
And so they're like, oh, He's just different. So the only reason I got good grades all throughout school was because of a bet, because of the competition.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a double major in college at Whitworth University in business management and theology, of all things. I was a youth leader when I was younger. I thought I was going to be a pastor, and my theology professor booted me from the program. He's like, "You're not a pastor, you're a businessman, and you're an entrepreneur, and you're going to serve a million times more people doing that. So go do that." He totally freed me up. And so I went from there to the Acton School of Entrepreneurship in Austin, Texas, with the great Jeff Sandifer. Incredible program, all about learning the basics of entrepreneurship. Look, entrepreneurship is not as scary as everyone thinks it is.
I know.
All you have to do is find a need and fill the need profitably. It's as simple as that. So just get the ears to listen for issues other people have and find ways to solve it. And the more you do that, the more opportunity there is. So I've never really looked for a job. I've just started companies. And then I got really good at building scalable companies with incredible teams that become self-managing. So then I'm out within a couple years. I'm more of a board chair advisor working on vision, key partnerships, biggest problems to solve. And then the teams are running and the businesses are growing without me.
That's awesome. So why the kids? Let's go back to, it's always been there, right? It's been a theme throughout your career, and probably outside of the biotech, every company that it sounds like you've touched has kids involved at some level.
Yep.
So why the kids? What's the heart and soul? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's my wheelhouse. I never grew up from being a kid. There's a big difference between childish and childlike, and I'm definitely in the childlike camp. I think that childhood development is one of the most important investments we can all make, especially as parents. I have 3 kids of my own, a girl and 2 boys, all rock stars, young and awesome. And I want to build them a better future. But let me say this from a business perspective. Kids create new industries every day, and people don't realize it. Steve Jobs, when I was in elementary school, every elementary school in America had a Macintosh. And the reason we had Macintosh, at cost, they'd sell them to get into every school, is because they were watching kids play with computers. They were watching kids touch the screen. Think about that. In the 90s, in the 80s, they're watching kids, and that's what created the iPhone. So I think that kids actually tell us way more. That they're more intuitive, they're more savvy, they're more honest, and every day a new industry gets created by kids. And so watching them, not just my passion for seeing children develop, but also I believe that kids are going to reinvent the banking world. And that's what we're building at GravyStack. So I'm watching kids see the flow of money in real time. And that's financial literacy 101. We have what we call a money machine at GravyStack. So kids starting at age 8, they watch their revenue streams come in through pipes, gigs, missions, at-home projects. They get hired, they get paid in all these different ways, investments. And that money goes into their account through the pipes. And then it flows to their jars, their save, spend, and share jar. And their save jar is investing, right? We're talking about iFlip, the other partner you have, looking very good right now to partner up with them. Their spend jar, which is their debit card that they can spend on, but it's only a percentage of what they make. Because a lot of kids make that mistake. Like, oh, I got $50, I can blow it. That's wrong. And then we have what we call the share jar, which is giving to charity. So one of the first missions we have is the kids with mom and dad, they choose the percentage they want to go to those jars. And once they do that, you literally watch the gravy flow through the pipes to have money flow into those accounts. And that's the first step for teaching adolescents, even teenagers, even college kids, like, here's how your money's flowing in real time. And here's how it's leaving your debit card too, right? If you spend money, it drops out of your debit card. They have to see that in real time. So that's what GravyStack's trying to solve. And we're only building it because we're watching kids and hearing what they say, and if they're actually learning it or not. So that's why I love childhood development, because they can teach us a lot more than we think they can.
So let's talk a little bit about, let's dive deeper into GravyStack. What was the initial, like, I'm sure you're the one that found the idea. So we need to do this. And I just want to preface that with those of you who've been following me around the world for a very long time on this podcast. I have a new book coming out called Make Your Kids Millionaires. So that will be financial literacy, which some of that, which is never pay your kids an allowance, which let's talk some about that. So we're taking some of the principles from really Chad, myself, several other folks that are really the kind of authors of financial literacy.
Yep.
But what created the idea? And let's dig into I love the gigs. To me, the gigs is when the kids do not have to know they have to get a job. They can't get an allowance. An allowance is just like paying a paycheck every 2 weeks or every week. And there's no tasks associated and no price negotiated, which I think is so much fun to teach the kids how to negotiate what they're worth and that pricing. So I know it's a lot in one big question.
Yeah. So the idea of GravyStack, and really GravyStack has to sound not like a bank. It has to sound like a game. It has to sound like something fun that kids are going to do, because it is fun. It is an actual game with 100 missions that they complete for rewards, for what we call grits, and real money. So we've been doing these children's business fairs just for fun for over a decade. And anyone can go to childrensbusinessfair.org and start their own business fair with their local neighborhood. Basically, kids get together on a Saturday from 10 to 1. They have a booth. They make some products, bookmarks, brownies, lemonade, popcorn, soap. I don't care. We've done this tens of thousands of kids already. And we've been doing that for 10 years. And I keep getting, and I'm the MC because it's just fun to do. I just did one this last weekend at our golf course we own. And the kids came, the average kid made $300 in 3 hours because they bring all their family and friends and everybody buys from everybody. And it's an unbelievable way to teach kids about creating something with your hands of value to know your worth and sell it profitably to someone else. So they learn how to pitch, they learn profit, they learn their cost of goods, they learn marketing, they learn everything. And so we've had parents now 10 years later say, hey, my kid did school for 12 years and this was the best thing they ever did. They're in college now and they're making $5,000 a month selling clothes, making websites, doing this, and they're paying their way. It's unbelievable. And so we took that idea, and that's really what was the impetus for GravyStack. It started with helping kids launch their own Etsy online. And then it became, wow, we should really enter the fintech banking space and give kids a debit card and help parents mobilize around the kids to teach them all of these financially capable tools. And so that's really what sparked GravyStack. And as we built it, we found a lot of holes in not just the education system, but the banking system and parenting period. So we kind of call this crowdsourced parenting, right?
I love that. Yeah.
And you're exactly right. One of my favorite things about it is you can't join us unless you believe that allowance is a bad idea too, because this isn't socialism. Kids shouldn't get things for free. It's not a good training for the real world. And the argument against it is, well, kids need to learn how to spend money. It's like, no, they don't. Kids know how to spend money. Like, don't worry about that. What they need to do is learn how to earn money and earn value and create value and earn their worth. And so what we created is something called gigs. We call it home gigs and neighborhood gigs. So instead of allowance, mom and dad have a money menu that they create in our app very easily. It's literally like auto done for you. I click sweep the garage and I think it's going to be $15 or $8, whatever they want to do. And the kid can choose it. They can negotiate it. But once it's set, they can set it monthly. They can repeat it weekly, whatever they want to do. They can give it to all their kids under the account or just one kid. They choose a due date. It's perfectly done for them. And so after you've done the first few dozen gigs at home, and this is over and above chores, by the way, they have to wake up, make their bed, brush their teeth, get dressed, take out the trash. Like that's part of being under our roof. Okay. But what I want to do is give parents an answer for kids asking them for money. And the answer is, you've always got a list of 10 things you can do around this house to add value. If you want to go buy a gift for your friend's birthday, you've got your money menu. If you want to go out the arcade or the movie theater for pizza or whatever you want, you've got it. You want to go on that field trip, you want to go to Disneyland, you've got the money menu right there and it's always teed up. So we're trying to solve that problem because when kids ask parents for money, it's a lose-lose, right? Either they say, okay, sure, or they say no, And it's their fault for not preparing their kid so the kid's miserable. They think mom and dad's evil. How dare you keep me from having friends? So we are solving for that.
That I want.
Yeah. So, and the reason is because the parents don't have a solution, a proactive solution. So we're giving them that win-win, which is like, oh, great. Go check out your money menu. You've got 10 things to do. Pull weeds. You can redo my library of books in alphabetical order or colored order, whatever you want. There's 10 things at all times, right? Sweep this, clean that, fix this, move the storage in the garage. Like there's a million things that parents didn't even realize that their kids could do. And we're putting them all right there in the app for parents to create those gigs for their kids. And then I think money spending and investing and saving comes in, because the kids are creating value. Then they should learn how to spend it. So we're both make and manage money. Right. And we're solving for not just the giving your kids cash in a piggy bank problem. That's old fashioned, but we're solving for actually turning them into independent kids, financially independent kids.
So Scott, let's talk about how the banking is going to work, because it is a banking solution for the kids, and they will get a real debit card. In fact, at our last meeting, we talked about, I really want to push at that 16 to really 14 to 18 age, teaching them credit cards, and then we provide 18-year-olds with a credit card. I mean, somebody's going to do it. We might as well be the ones to have grown them into it. So talk about how that works for the parent, because I really want to speak to the parents. Most of you that around the world, you are parents, or somebody that has a kid, or you're an aunt and uncle, you're a grandparent. And what Scott's talking about and what I'm passionate about in my new book is there's so much around the parenting that isn't addressed. And it's not, I would say it's not the parent's fault. No one's taken it on as a critical, it's a critical skill set. I would just say it's a critical skill set that no parents are taught. How do you deal with money? How do you put money as a conversation in your household? So between my book and there's some other folks that are our partners that have some amazing work. What's interesting about all of our work, it's so aligned to this conversation. It's not like, a lot of people compare me to Susie Orman. I said, no, this is not a Susie Orman conversation. This is a totally how we're going to make money conversation. So there's a lot of parenting that's involved. Talk about the banking side of that, though.
Yeah.
From the parent, if I'm out here listening, I'm going, okay, I want to go get this app for my kids. The parent would be attaching their bank account, if not getting their own through GravyStack. And then talk about how that's going to work on the back end for the parent.
So for the banking side of this, parents can have any bank account they want. And they transfer money into an account that then gets sent to their kids through the GravyStack bank account. We're a member FDIC. It's a real bank account, withdrawals, transfers, ACH, everything. So think of it as an add-on kids account to your whatever, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, doesn't matter. You can just move that money in for free. Okay. The bank itself for the kids is about $5 a month. And we're going to have up to the whole family's in for that. So if you have 3-4 kids, that's $5 a month. We're keeping it simple. And the kids are going to be earning those funds as they accomplish gigs, as they complete projects and missions in the app. The whole money machine that I explained earlier is right there in the kids' app. And they have a physical debit card that they can go use anywhere else in the world. But they can only spend the spend account. There's the investing, savings, long-term, short-term goals account. There's the sharing account. There's a bunch more things that are being built in there. But the whole point of this is to get kids excited to go from 0 to 100 through our missions. Our missions are the real value here, because a debit card is a dime a dozen. But what we want to do is get kids to actually start completing challenges and missions that teach them all about investing, teach them all about spending, all about earning, creating value, all about, we're doing the dinner budget challenge. It's one of my favorites. The kid gets $10 sent to their debit card per family member to make dinner. They got to go buy it, figure out what to cook, make dinner, and they can keep all the profit as long as they get a 4 out of 5 star rating from the family. So they can't go buy top ramen for $1 and make $9 per person in profit. Okay. What it teaches them is listening to the customer, creating actual value, and understanding the budget, and cooking and shopping and everything. That's one of our 100 challenges. So we're doing the same thing with Zillow house buys and stock picking around the house. They go through a mission that literally answers a bunch of questions on all the stocks that are public that they use every day. right? From laundry detergent to cars to Netflix to toys they use to games, they learn to invest. Same thing with loans, same thing with taxes. We have a family trip planning mission where they literally get, for an actual trip, they're finding 3 flights, 3 rental cars, 3 hotels, 3 restaurants they're going to go to. And they find the best price for all of them, the best deal.
Awesome.
We talked to
that one. I didn't hear about that one.
There's 1,000 parents that are like, I want to do that one. I want that.
Yeah, well, you need them to. And then when we get the kids incorporated, then they'll know they can go on business trips.
That's right.
It's the business trip deduction part of that strategy.
Oh yeah, it's going to go real deep. 529 college accounts. We're talking about once they graduate and get their resume of their certificate of financial independence is going to become, in the next 2 to 3 years, the de facto resume for Stanford, Harvard, MIT, the biggest schools in the world, because it's validated achievement. Okay. Most resumes that are sent out are kind of falsified these days. You can't tell, oh, I'm a Boys and Girls Club manager director, and I spent 2 hours on a Saturday doing that. So schools have a problem, and they're trying to validate achievements. And we have the mission game that kids are going to be able to have 50 different badges and NFTs of their accomplishments on their digital resume. And so now you're talking about next level training. So thinking about, what if the kid creates their own LLC for almost nothing to be able to deduct everything, save on a bunch of taxes? We have that. Once they reach a certain level in the app, we educate them about that opportunity. We think that the credit card should come when they've reached an autonometer, we call it, of about 70 plus. They reach 100 is like full on autonomy. This kid's ready to go. But once they reach 70, they've earned the basics to start gaining good credit. And there's all these challenges are different. Some of them are surveys or quizzes or actual games they're playing. Some of them are out in the world, apprenticeships, find my way home from 50 miles away challenge safely. There's all these different challenges that are life skills based and money based, so that they're ready to go. And almost everything we're doing is not taught in schools at all. Nothing against schools, but teachers feel they think money is a mom and dad thing, just like nutrition. Like teachers, public school teachers are not allowed to talk about nutrition for the same reason. It's like, well, every family's different. Everyone has different views, different allergies, different, paleo versus keto versus macro. Like money's the same way. And so, but here's the deeper problem with money. Banks also don't touch it because kids don't have money to make the bank's money. So so banks have not innovated in 50 years. Ever. And then you have parents. We interviewed 1,000 parents, and almost none of them had an actual financial roadmap for their kids starting at age 5. No, they had ideas. They're like, okay, I'll get a bank account at 12. Maybe we'll do a lemonade stand. Okay, I got to do the piggy bank and maybe put some into giving, or I'll give my kid $10 and have them go give it to somebody else. Like that's the best people have got. Yeah. And then they find you, or they find Chad, they find other people like, oh, there's a lot more we could do. We're trying to be that roadmap, that financial roadmap that's kid generated and kids' excitement. Because sometimes when mom and dad say to do something, kids are like, yeah, whatever. I got work to do, or I'm playing games or sports. Right. So we want to have it be a ground up grassroots movement to get the kids fired up for their own future in a fun way. And there's ranking and gamification and grits that they're tipping their friends, and they're competing to learn these things. There's inner circles. So
you got to talk about the greedy mon though, because I think that is because like in my game, you can see I have my Millionaire Maker game up above on the shelf. I have
mine's right here. Mine's right there, by the way.
And I have all sorts of challenges in there that if you say come across a gas and oil deal, like one of the best asset deals you could do for the deductions and the depreciation, if you hadn't put money away into your wealth account and hadn't bought a team, you just can't do that all by yourself. Because you shouldn't do that kind of investment by yourself. You need a team, you need the right players, you need a wealth account. So I love when you had shared that last time we were together, that there's a greedy mon that's going to be in the game, because there's got to be some consequences that come with it. So talk about that process in it, which I think is going to create a lot of fun.
Yeah. So some kids are motivated by money. Mm-hmm. Some kids are motivated by competition. Some are motivated by achievement. Some are motivated just by community and epic meaning and calling. Some are motivated by what we call black hat tricks, scarcity, competition, like those fun ones, right? Everyone's motivated differently. And so What we've built is all of the 8 core drive motivators. So whatever a kid is motivated by, we have that strategy in the app to get them to learn financial independence. And so there are worlds here that they unlock. Every level is a different part of the world that goes from gray to color. And they have coaches, digital avatar cartoons that are taking them through each of these levels. We have the green gecko, the fire wolf, the diamond dragon, and they actually unlock NFTs and badges and extra incentives in the app by completing these levels. And then by the time they reach level 3 or 4, they're rocking. And there's the greedy mon who comes in. The greedy mon is a predatory loan, high interest rate, take out way too much credit. You should do this terrible deal over your skis, trying to make tricks with the kids to take their grits. They won't take real money necessarily, but they will take grits and they'll set them back levels. They'll lock them for a certain period of time. They'll move their ranking down, all because they'd make a bad decision with the greedy mon. And so the greedy mon is going to have about 12 to 15 different faces in our app of things that the kids think first of, like, oh, it would be really cool to get 100 grits right now from greedy mon. I didn't realize it was a 25% monthly interest loan that I got from Greedy Mon, right?
Yep.
And so parents get to, I mean, it's all fun and it's in a safe environment. Parents get to like play along with them and laugh along with them and learn. So the parents are like coaches now, right? That's really how it should be. Parents are coaching. They're watching them play and learn. Kids should learn to win and fail at home, right? Win, lose, fail, make money, lose money. They should do that all at home in a safe environment with mom and dad so that they're prepared when they leave the house. That's crucial to us. So learn by doing, and real life stuff it's all about what we're doing in the app.
And now let's talk about the parent corner. So the more we talked about this amongst the investors and partners, for all of you listening, it is important. And if you're out there as a parent, you can put some comments below in our chat. But it is really important that the parents start
educated. Yeah.
Well, and sort of like we're their mentor and guide as well, and that there's a parent corner where we can coach the parent without having any. Maybe the word embarrassing is a little too much, but the parents like, I don't know what to do, and they want to have that place where they get a safe place and a safe haven to ask us questions, right? The core team questions as they guide their kid.
Yeah. So we're going to have a parent corner for every one of our levels. So we have the spend level, the save level, the earn level, the invest level, the share, the borrow, the protect level, talking about online security. Like, did you know that what you put online stays forever? Did you know that 17-year-old girl on the other end of your Snapchat could be a fat 55-year-old male that's trying to take advantage of you? Like, we have all these levels to teach kids all of these life skills when it comes to money. And parents need them just as much. In our tests so far, mom and dad are literally looking over their shoulder being like, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. I didn't even know this. Right. And so there's going to be a parent resource corner for every level. So mom and dad, they don't have to. If they know it well, great. But there's resources for mom and dad to prepare themselves for the things that their kids are going to be learning. Quick snapshots, quick resources, external resources, like all of your stuff for Millionaire Maker, for Smart Not Spoiled, we've got about 50 investors that are the world's best when it comes to specific things about money, finances, investing, childhood development, how your brain operates, building self-managing teams. So we're going to be creating all of these levels and missions for kids that they can do above and beyond. The game's never going to end if you haven't figured it out. There's constant missions and levels that are going to be created. And so the parent corner really prepares mom and dad in a quick video, a few resources, click to learn more, or there's outside resources they can buy. And sometimes we'll just throw it in and give them resources for free in the app, just depending on what they are. But parents need to get educated. So I think a lot of what we're going to do on the backside of GravyStack is have a parent Zoom training. We're going to have meet other parents, meet the experts, get in small groups and discuss questions you might have, monthly topics. So it's really going to be a parent community as well as a kid community to learn these things.
Yeah, and it's just so critical. And those of you that are listening, as you know, go to makeyourkidsmillionaires.com. That is the parents' guide. I know a lot of people say, well, it's Make Your Kids Millionaires. Well, it's for the parents, step-by-step guide from 0 to 18 and beyond. Like, what do you do year by year by year? So we'll be layering a lot of that content into the GravyStack. And those of you who have seen Kelly and Randy out here on iFlip for years now, that, like Scott said, will be one of the options for where do you go invest. Right. So where do you go invest your money? And I'm sure we're going to get into real estate and other deals. And what I love is that we're touching the newest asset class called an NFT straight out of the gate.
Yep. We're going to have a whole level and a bunch of missions related to DeFi and crypto and blockchain NFTs for kids and their parents to kind of get a 101, mint their first NFT, understand what tokens actually are and coins actually are. Are they a currency? Are they a value? Are they a bet? Are they a gamble? You have to learn these things. And so I think we're going to make it fun. That's our wheelhouse, is we make it really fun. And yeah, gravystack.com. I don't know if we're going to be live right when this goes live, but people can join the wait list. So it's literally a queue. We have a ton of parents signed up and families signed up. So they can go to gravystack.com, put in their email, and then they join that wait list in order of being able to unlock their app. So they can go there and sign up.
And what's our timing on like some of the initial beta and drafts that'll be coming out around our targets? What, May 29th?
May 29th. Yeah. 529, like the college saving account. There you go. May 29th is when we're going to launch the public, and then we'll start to bring in that queue of folks that are already on the wait list. And we're in beta right now. We're testing with a bunch of families as we speak. And yeah, we're expecting end of May is when our go live is. Be fun.
For those of you listening, go to gravystack.com, get on that wait list, and go to makeyourkidsmillionaires.com, grab my book, which is May is just going to be a huge month. So the week of Mother's Day, May 10th, our book will be hitting all the bookstores throughout the country, and you get your pre-order. We have a bunch of $1,500 of bonuses. So right now, between now and May, you can dig into the Put More Cash in Your Pocket, the Kids Financial Filing Cabinet, Never Pay Your Kids an Allowance. We have all these bonuses to get you ready for this big conversation coming in May. So first, my book will go. 2 weeks later, the GravyStack app will go, and away we go. It's going to be awesome. Greatest 2022. We'll have all the financial literacy, the banking, and the investing all in one place.
It's a big need. You're involved in something that it's a problem that has to be solved. This isn't a problem that we want to solve. It's a problem that has to be solved. They're expecting, I just read a report that they're expecting 40% of student loan debt to start defaulting by 2026 to 2027. This is a massive problem and it has to be solved. And so I really appreciate people like you on the front lines of this, helping moms and dads get through this from A to Z. And we're excited to join the fight along with you. So yeah, we're going to make a big dent.
Yeah, I'm excited that we are here in partnering. So thank you, Scott. And those of you out watching, we will be back with more as soon as this app comes out. I think the next podcast we do, Scott, let's actually walk them through the site and really put it out there. The question I will have, because we're very international, is can anyone in the world do this?
Yep. We're going to be expanding to more countries than the US very, very quickly upon launch. And the free game, the game you can play for free. If you want to master the game, you get the debit card in the bank, but you can play the game for free and add all your friends anywhere in the world. So that's live. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Scott, thank you. It's been great to have you here. Those of you listening, if you have any questions, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL, ask a question, make a request, and my team is out there every day live to make sure you're taken care of. Let's talk to you in the next episode. So this is Laurel, and you've been listening to my podcast. If you've enjoyed this, I have a couple things you can do that are completely up to you. Number one, take my quiz. Go to integratedwealthsystems.com and take the quiz. You will find that there's one of 4 personalities, financial personalities we call them, that you're going to fall into. So as you take the quiz, it'll actually go through and identify, are you in stagnant cash flow, right? Are you overpaying taxes? Do you have debt issues? Are you a lifestyle junkie? Where are you? And then from there, it goes to a video that actually gives you some solutions on how to correct that problem. So again, go to integratedwealthsystems.com, take my quiz, and we'll go from there.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Laurel Langmeyer, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Laurel's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Laurel? Visit asklaurel.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.